Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at snap ships, and we're going to be building a Sabre, specifically a Sabre XF-23 fighter. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this game. It is designed by Josh Dirksen, who you may know from X-Wing as the creator of Heroes of the Aturi Cluster. And this is an all-new ship tabletop combat game that is so much more than a game, and I want to kind of demonstrate a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about the gameplay itself and also tell you about their new Kickstarter, which is coming. Very, very cool stuff. Also, if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. That's going to enter you to win the lightsaber giveaway we're doing. And also, if you want to learn more about snapships, you can head over to snapships.com or also jump into the Kickstarter, which I'm going to be putting a link to in the video description below. Also, everything you're going to get to see in this video is still technically subject to change. This is mostly prototype stuff, although I think some of the pieces are final, some of them are still prototypes. But keep in mind, as with all Kickstarters and crowdfunding campaigns, when you're looking at a preview like this, it's all going to be subject to change. With that being said, we're going to be doing a build today. So first off, I'm going to show you some of the cards and what we're going to be aiming towards, and then I'm going to show you the coolest part. So we're going to be taking a look at the XF-23 fighter. So you guys know, if you follow my channel, I definitely love, I love miniatures games. I love space ships, and games like X-Wing and Armada, or where I could really cut my teeth on tabletop gaming. And this is going to be something very much in that kind of vein. This is a dogfighting game where you're going to have ships, and you can really customize them a lot more than you are able to do in any other game. And I think it's really cool. You may have actually seen snap ships on store shelves already. And what it is basically they have the ships themselves, but now the game is coming to Kickstarter, and there's going to be a 2-player starter set as well as lots of other expandable options for these ships. So this is a really cool, basically a really cool design for this type of ship. Some things you're going to recognize: points, upgrade options down here. We've got hull, and we've got evasion over here, and we also have power cubes. Basically, power cubes is how you're going to be able to power the different things that are going to be in your system. So I'm going to have 7 blue cubes on this, and I can power my different upgrades, fire that many weapons, or get extra movement and things like that with this. So let me kind of line up some things here and show you a little bit about how the ship we're going to build might work and how this gameplay works. All right, so here you can see I've got my ship card. Again, like in most tabletop games, you're going to have a ship card that has all of the basic stats that you need to know. And what I have right here are the different upgrades. So I've got 6 different parts in here. Upgrades are called parts. And you're going to see why in a minute, because they're actual parts you physically put on the ship, and that's what thing that really makes this amazing. So I've got a cockpit, I've got an engine, I've got wings, and I've got 3 extra parts here, and you're going to see right here. So we've got the XF-25 cockpit, we've got the SDU-14 jump engine, the XF-25 wings, the Mark 16 autocannon, the SLS solar, and the BF bulkhead right here. And they all have different things. I'm going to try to keep this fairly simple. Of course, if you want to learn more, there's going to be lots more information. If you want to check out the Kickstarter and or the website, you can learn even more. But basically, all of the upgrades give you different things that you can do. And if you'll notice, they have different costs on them. For example, I'll have 7 power cubes each turn. And this is kind of how I power these upgrades. And so if I wanted to fire a weapon, for example, I could drop 2 power cubes on this weapon to attack with it. Now, before I can use any of these cards again, all of my cubes have to come off. You'll notice down here at the bottom I have a 5, which means I can pull 5 cubes off of upgrades at the beginning of my turn. So before, so I'm not gonna be able to fire this too many times in a row, right? So like next turn I'll be able to fire it again if I take those cubes off. But if I try to power up all my upgrades, I'm gonna run out of options for that. Now, like let's say I wanted to use my wings, my XF-25 here wings, to get some extra movement. Of course, fancier wings are going to give you more movement, right? I'll put 2 cubes on there just like that. But I also have to put a red cube. Now, there's another type of cubes. Now, these aren't on my ship. They're in the neutral supply, and this represents heat. The blue is basically power, the red is heat. So when I feed power to these to kind of do some maneuvering with the wings, they kind of get hot. And that's okay, right? I can still remove 5. But let's say I wanted you also activate my jump engine. That's going to cost me 3 more power. Oh, I've only got 1 power left on my ship right now. Actually, wait, I did the math wrong. I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should have 2 power left on my ship there. There you go. And we're having fun. And then we're going to put 2 more heat on this card because we did this move here, right? And this is kind of basically a K-turn that kind of lets me turn all the way around, a U-turn. So now I've got 5 cubes on here, but now next turn I'm only gonna be able to remove 5, and I still have to remove heat like normal. So I might, if I want to ready this jump engine, that means I won't be able to use my wings, right? Because I won't be able to get all of those cubes off of there. Or if I fired my weapon and then I used everything else, I'd have to choose between moving and shooting, perhaps. So the cube system gives you a really, really cool action economy and forces you to make some tough choices on when you're shooting, when you're moving, when you're activating other specialties. For example, my cockpit, I can spend 2 blue cubes on here to re-roll dice. It doesn't generate heat for that, but it still cuts into those precious 5 cubes that I get to remove each turn. And that's really where part of it kicks in. Now, let's just say when I was building this, instead of maybe this solar panel that has a passive, again, letting me get an extra blue cube off, which is a really cool one, but maybe I didn't want to go for passive abilities. Maybe I want an extra weapon. Now I've got missile pods and an autocannon. Now I can attack 2 times, right? And now it's going to become expensive though. So I have to drop 2 blue on there. I got to only drop 1 blue here on the missile pod, which is great, but it's going to take 3 more heat, which means I'm going to have a hard time. I'm not going to be able to fire these missiles every time. And of course, we do have things like a arc, basically where I can shoot at how far. Range 2 they can shoot out, right? And how many dice they roll and how much damage they do. And of course, you have dice. You have 10-sided dice in this game, and of course, I will roll. They'll hit on a 2-up, but of course, we have to add the other ship's evasion to this die. So again, like if somebody's attacking me with something like this, they're going to hit on a 2-up, but then I'm going to add 2 to that, so they're going to hit on a 4-up. So a 6 would actually hit. And there's also criticals, which always hit, and then there's blanks, which always miss. And criticals will cause a card to get flipped face down, and if there's any heat on it, it becomes extra damage to the ship. So that's just a little bit about how the combat works. And basically, you have a base. It's very similar to this. This should be kind of similar to people who are familiar with space combat games. This is going to be your forward facing, and these are all your different arcs. You have that 45-degree arc. You also have a 90-degree arc. You also have a narrow 45-degree arc in here too, which allows for some more accurate and bullseye kind of weapons. You have movement in here, which is a movement tool, which is going to look a little bit like this, that allows you to, if you're doing a short movement, you can lock this in and move it forward like so. And there's little notches in here to help it line up perfectly. And if you're doing a long movement, you're going to be able to, lock that in like so. Every ship usually has some kind of basic movement on their card, and then they can get additional movement from engines and feeding extra power to those. So you can kind of move slow without spending extra power, or you can move faster by spending a lot of extra power. You can also turn, and by doing that, you just kind of lock the line here in like so, and then move it to the next line kind of touching. So that's kind of that's a 1 turn as well. So it's a little bit about movement, it's a little bit about combat, but I wanted to show you guys something different, how to actually build one of these ships, because we're gonna have some fun and try to put this together, and you can even, maybe I'll take some liberties and come up with something a little different than what we see here. All right, so now we come to my favorite part, which is actually building the ships. Now, these ships have these little cubes here. Now, if you've got kids like I do, you've probably seen some toys like this. These are definitely kid safe to a degree. Obviously, there are some small pieces, so you want to make sure, if you have very young ones, they're being super careful. But not only have they put so much thought into how these go together and pop out, they have this circular cube system that goes in, and it stays in pretty tightly. It's not going to fall out accidentally. But as pieces are on there, you have this awesome little tool that is going to be able to go in here and force them out gently, so you're not destroying anything. And I think that that's just absolutely brilliant. If we look at the back side of our card here, we're going to see that there's a preset build, and this is going to tell us all the different pieces that are going to be included with the preset build, and also how we want the basic chassis to work. So if we wanted to see, like, how do I get started? Because sometimes this can be like, wait, how do I build this? I can't see the underside and all that other stuff. Well, there you go. You're going to be able to see all of this just fine. All right, so we want to start trying to build this out, and basically I want to go 4 deep through the center. That's kind of how I like to figure it out. And then on the either side of the center, we have these awesome engines, right? And I love the way that these look. Wait, hold on. I think I want that the other way. Well, I could have just flipped it. There we go. Well, I want the paint on top. I love doing this. This is really fun. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my rear section in, and then I've got 2 more to go on the back. And the cool thing, since these are round, you can just spin them. Well, there we go. Yeah, you can put them in, and oh no, they can lock in. Okay, there we go. They so they're not going to spin loose, but you can basically put them diagonal or straight, and it doesn't have any kind of a negative impact with this part. It's just this square system here really locks in to that star. I love that. All right, so next up, we got to get all of our pieces. Now this is the fun part too. All right, so now I pulled out the pieces, and by the way, there's lots of extra pieces as well. So very cool to have so much variety. It's like I feel like a kid again. I love it. I'm definitely here for this awesome ride. Okay, so now I'll just flip it over and then kind of see how everything goes. By the way, this cockpit is extremely cool because it actually opens, and you have a little pilot miniature that can go in there. Like that, they didn't even have to do that, but I love that they did that. I think that it just adds so much flavor and personality to this game. It is, I feel like it's a full-blown toy line that, that is completely, that combined with a game. I'm running out of words because I think it's so cool. So very, very cool. All right, so we have, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to put some of our wings on the side here, like so. And these are cool too because they have a little bit of a kind of a hinge on them, right? And so we can do that. There we go. And this, they can kind of go down a little bit. They can go straight up a little bit more. Oh, very cool. Now these that are angled, all right, we have our maneuvering fins. We can put those on the back like so. I love the way that you can angle these. It's just very, very cool. We've got our rockets in the back. Let's see. And I think we've got our autocannons. Are they underneath? I think they're coming from right here. And you can do it any way you want, really. I mean, I think you kind of want it recognizable as the type of ship you're running, especially if you're running multiple ships. If you're just doing 1 versus 1, then it won't really matter. But if you're doing like a 2 versus 2 or a 3 versus 3, you're gonna probably want your ships to look as close to this as you can. But it's cool to take a few artistic liberties. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, so we put these on too, and just was thinking about something. If you are disassembling too and you want to get these pieces off, this tool is just really good for that. So you can push those in without fear of like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get that out, without having to bite it or anything like that. When I was younger, that was my solution for everything. Let me just get it out harmfully. But this allows you to keep everything really nice and cozy. And then I think the last part is just the engines on the rear. And there we go. Get it in all the way. There it is. Sometimes you have to spin it a little bit to get the square portion to align just correctly. Now the cool thing is when these can spin too. Oh, look at that. That is really cool. That with the bottom parts, you're going to take your base, and it's just going to go right in there, and there we go. We got to put our pilot in too. Hold on a second. We got to make sure the pilot is in there. Boom, boom, and now we are rocked and locked and loaded, ready to go. We got extra pieces too. Should we try and come up with something else a little wild and crazy? All right, I want to do some modifications now. I want to keep it fun, but I want to make it a little bit more my own. And I think that's the beautiful part of all of this is just coming. Some of them come right out nice and easily. I think I want to take some of these side parts off and see if I can't come up with another way to do this. This is really what I think is one of the bigger selling points of this. Not that it's not going to be fun to play, but I think that it's going to be fun to play with, and that's one of the things that a lot of other games don't have going for it right now. Is that while they can be plenty fun, like how much can you do with it after the fact, right? And that's this is so cool. Let me see what I can. I think I'm gonna try and do like a U kind of skeleton, and then see what I can stick on after we do that. Let me get these pieces in here. Boom! Look at that. So easy. All right, so I've gone and done it, Here is what I'm looking at so far. This is just going to be absolutely chaos, but we're going to go. I'm going to put these on top here. Oh, I left that piece on, but that's okay. That can stay there, I suppose. And I can do the wings kind of like that, or maybe I'll do them a little farther back. I think I'm going to do the wings a little farther back, so because I'm thinking of putting our cannons on the side. Oh yeah, right alongside on the face. Because we can have fun with this, man. This is where the magic happens, right here. All right, and now we've got. I mean, a good thing we're in space. We don't have to be quite so aerodynamic. Like takeoff from this one could be a little bit tricky. You might need like an assist when you're taking off, but you know, I think that's okay. Oh, we've got one more piece. I'm gonna put this one in sideways. There we go. We've got that up there, and we could do rockets up here. We could do rockets on here. Boom. There we go. And we could still do our little maneuvering fins up there, but they're going to be right next to each other. Oh, yeah. So like maybe this whole piece could kind of separate and become its own thing. We could put I don't think we want a booster in the front, but that would look kind of cool, right? Let's see how would it look. That would look a little weird. And then we put one on the back too. Oh, so it's like our reverse thrust in case we need to go backwards in a hurry, right? Like psych somebody out. Boom, psych. Oh yeah. We can totally do that. Then we've got stuff on the side. We've got other parts too. So if you're experimenting and you're just having fun with it, which I think you definitely should, you know, then we put that in there. So now we're totally we're winged out. I think we're maxed out on wings. We put some other pieces up in here, and there we go. We're covering up all the intakes, and then what we've got this. I haven't even looked up this upgrade yet. I might have it backwards. I don't know. I'm just gonna have fun with it. I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? And then of course when you're all done, you can play with these and then put them on their bases and have fun. So I think it's super groovy. There we go. That's kind of what I'm going with. And oh my goodness, that is nuts. I want to hear what you guys think. Is this chaos enough, or is it beautiful? Let me know down in the comments section. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's videos. Big thanks to Snapships for sending this out for me to check out. I love it. I think you guys are going to love it. I think you should definitely check it out. We'll have links down in the video description. And, you know, maybe we'll build some other ships in the future as well. All right, guys, that is going to do it. I will talk to you later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. Help make this channel possible. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. And goodbye there.